So we have a history in King's Bench law because most of our law is from the King's Bench because the colonies that survived were at King's Bench colonies. They were the English colonies. So the first law was from King's Bench. And so then even once we became our own country, we didn't erase that law. We just continued from there. So the Snail and the beer case. So I think it was like root beer. And they did like a root beer float, and I'm not sure if it was like the 1800s, something like that. So it was like a can of root beer or a bottle of root beer. It was a bottle of root beer over ice cream, and they claimed that there was like there was a snail in it that was like decomposed, decomposed snail in the root beer, and that was the first case that went to the King's Bench that was determined to be a harm, a tort. That was the case. We should check that out.
We should.
The snail in the beer
case. This was going to
case.
be like the chickens, and I was like, but that's contracts.
Yep, it's a snail in the beer case. Is the birth of tort law in the King's Bench. So, you had asked me a couple questions on break. What do you want to talk about this break?
Yeah, well, I mean, your podcast deals with trauma. You're dealing with trauma in the sense that you are representing an individual who has to face the state, right? It's Commonwealth of Virginia versus your client and what that trauma is like. And I'm on the opposite side of the coin, and that I'm representing an individual who has suffered a harm. So I'm wondering if we can talk about trauma just from our respective perspectives and how it comes into play in the work that we do.